Alrighty, fellas. Good morning. Oh, no. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are we doing, fellas? Welcome back to PokeMMO Stream Recap, I believe, number 261, technically. This is the possible day zero. This is a weird stream. I'm going live at 6 p.m. Not what I normally do. This is the possible day zero for the Lunar New Year event in PokeMMO. The event that brings back Shaman as an encounter. The event that brings back possibly alpha excadrills, which could really affect the economy, could affect PvP, could affect people's availability with that Pokemon. There's a lot of things, a lot of changes that could happen to the game tonight. It's decently likely we see the update in about an hour from now at 7 p.m. ET. I could be mistaken. It could be wrong. We never know for sure. It's always just a guesstimation, okay? 7 p.m. ET on the 28th is my best guess. The Lunar New Year event begins on the 29th, or the Lunar New Year itself does. So usually they do it at midnight-ish UTC, Universal Time. So I'm going to be here just fishing, cleaning my boxes, talking to chat, preparing, maybe getting some raid teams like prepared and figured out to see, welcome all the new content, see what's new. A big thing I'm looking forward to is just to see what other content is here aside from raids, to see what things get nerfed, buffed, etc. I've been really shocked at how much like non-event game updates we've been getting. With the recent event, guys, like look at like Halloween, look at Christmas, right? Look at the we got our first alpha legendary. We got our first permanent raid in general in PokeMMO, and not only was it the first permanent raid, it brought a permanent legendary, being Heatran, a really powerful one. It changed the metagame. We've seen a lot of permanent updates, a lot of permanent things. We saw Darkrai in Halloween, even though it's a temporary ownable, it's a permanent thing. Like, we're seeing a lot of things, a lot of new game-changing permanent updates from events, whereas normally events were just a time to have fun, have a temporary thing, adjustment to the game, and then get back to the normal gameplay. But events are now changing the game forever, so I'm excited to see what we see this event, hoping it happens in about an hour. If not, we'll just enjoy a stream, hanging out together, playing some PokeMMO, having some fun, hopefully exploring the new event. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for watching. Quick preamble for anybody's first event about how events work in PokeMMO. Typically, servers will go down around 7 or 8 p.m. ET, my time zone, generally. You want to look at like every hour as a possible point where it could drop. It may not happen tonight. We never know. It's never communicated by us from the devs. We basically just go off of previous years and guesstimations. Speaking of, actually, I'll go check what time and what date the last Lunar New Year dropped at. Yeah, I think last year, the Lunar New Year event dropped. Let's see. You can't see the time it exactly was posted, I believe, unfortunately, on the forum, but it dropped on the Lunar New Year event. Wasn't the Lunar New Year on Valentine's Day last year? 2024 Lunar New Year date. Wasn't it on Valentine's Day or something like that? February 10th. Oh, last year they were late. So keep that up. It's always possible. Last year, the Lunar New Year started on the 10th, and the Lunar New Year event dropped on February 13th. They were 3 days late last year. Because first time raids, that's true. It was unique. It was a unique thing. So don't get too demotivated, boys. It was a unique time period. Last year in the Lunar New Year, that was the first time they ever dropped raids. That is true. That is super true. Lunar New Year event is a really big one to watch out for because it's just really popular. The the Asian player base, the Chinese speaking player base in PokeMMO is massive. It's a really big player base, and it's really easy to not realize that as a English speaking or Spanish speaking player. I always say the game is PokeMMO is a very international game, which is an awesome thing, and it's a much bigger game than people realize because usually we're kind of off in our own little languages, whereas the game is massive in the Spanish speaking communities, in the Chinese speaking or other Asian countries. Like it's really crazy. So you can't underestimate it. I think the Lunar New Year event really shows us some of those numbers. When you see how many people are willing to buy the vanities related to this event, or invest into things, or spend massive amounts of Pokeyen, I think it really adds some perspective to our PokeMMO adventures, which is awesome to see. So yeah, we're looking for like those time periods of like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. It could not happen tonight. It's possible. It might happen tomorrow. It might be a few days late. We'll have to see. But I think it's fun to do these hype streams and just see if it's tonight. And then if it happens, the big thing is servers going offline. So the servers will drop for around 2 to 4 hours on average. 2 to 4 hours on average, right? So It depends though. Like sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's later. The latest I've ever seen is 6 hours, and the earliest I've ever seen was, I think, wasn't the Halloween event one like 2 hours, and it went by like that. It was already up. It was crazy. For those watching the stream recap, it's probably going to be past this point to where this is not relevant information for you, but it is crucial information to understand when going into any event, especially next year's event season, okay? One of the most insane ways to make Pokeyen during a PokeMMO event is doing little flips during the race to the bottom of sealed product. Now, what I mean by that is usually when a new event drops, if we get the Abundant Shrine, which is like the dungeon style mechanic for this event, which we had last year and in previous years, people did sealed product. They had red envelopes, lucky red envelopes. That's sealed product, right? And people are basically like under listing, and like it's basically like, it's a race to a bottom. People are trying to sell it as quickly as possible and get as much money for it as possible, but also sell it quickly because they know it's going to drop over the next few days. Because as more supply comes in, it's really just supply and demand. As more supply comes in with the envelopes, it meets the demand. It meets the hype and the excitement of opening and trying to go into those like ultra rare vanities and see all the vanities and see what's new for the event. Which goes into another thing, which we'll talk about in a quick sec. But one of the cool things you can do during this race to the bottom is trying to buy the people undercutting, right? And then resell it for the accurate price. So what you'll see a ton is if red envelopes are worth like 30K a piece, more hasty players might quick sell their envelopes for like 20K. Right? So you want to buy that fat stack of envelopes for 20K, relist for like $29.999 and sell at that 30K price, and then boom, right? That's flipping stuff during the race to the bottom. It's a little risky at times. You don't want to be waiting on a fat stack. You have to be like actively, that's not investing. This is like quick, like day trading type shit where you're like just trying, it's really stressful, but you can make a ridiculous amount of Pokemon. People make like 2 to 3 like millions per hour. They're doing this. This is probably some of the most money you'll see, which is why I always talk about the first 3 hours, okay? The first 3 hours are the best way to make Pokeyen in an event, the best way to make Pokeyen in PokeMMO. You can make millions of Pokeyen per hour during the first few hours. Now, next up leads into general event economy. And I have a video called PokeMMO Event Economy 101. And I actually do think this is one of my favorite videos that I've made because it uses a beautiful MS Paint graph that is not disgusting at all. And it basically teaches people the basics, the 101 of event economy, which is really, really crucial for every player to understand. And it really comes down to, let me actually get it up on screen really quick here in a sec, but it basically comes down to, dude, this graph is even more disgusting than I remember. It comes down to what I recommend, which is selling everything in the first half of the event. Ignore my Magic the Gathering videos. Selling everything in the first half of the event. Look at this graph. The numbers represent, so here we have day 1 of the event, day 4, day 6, day 10. And this is, I don't even know what this is, my own graph. But it basically represents you want to sell everything in the first half of the event and then buy whatever you want towards the second half. That is my general rule of thumb. There's a lot more complications in this, and like other things can do certain things. This graph is insane. Me trying to draw, boys. But the general rule of thumb is sell everything, dump everything, because there's just not much supply at the start. People are rushing to get stuff, and they're panicking. So you want to sell everything, and then once the supply is met and the supply goes up, now you can go ahead and buy your stuff at the bottom out. You want to try to buy things at the bottom out, obviously. Buy low, sell high. Really boring, easy stuff, but feel free to also sell at the highs at the start, right? So just keep that in mind. I think a lot of new players are a little too excited when it comes to their first event. Understandably so. You're going to make mistakes. You can only prevent so many mistakes, At a certain point, it takes making mistakes to learn. That's just, I know that I have to do that personally, but I try to make this content to show you guys, these are the mistakes I made. Here's how I would recommend you avoid them. I know all these mistakes because I've made them, so hopefully you guys can avoid, don't panic buy, don't, get super excited. If you want to spend money for entertainment, more power to you, but financially, from an efficiency standpoint, I recommend selling most things in the first half, almost everything, and then buying stuff in the second half. But don't wait too late, because things might spike up towards the end of the event. There's a ton of other qualifiers and more complicated things, but general rule of thumb, sell first half, buy second half. Wait, Jedge, you're so right, dude. Wait, Jedge Guns, the world first raider, reminded me, was it the Christmas event? The Christmas event didn't drop on time. We had to riot to get them to drop it. Yo, hey. I think if it reaches like 8 p.m., 8:30 ET, like an hour to hour and a half, we could try to riot. We could see if we could force their hand, bro. Get them to drop. See if they drop it again because of that. That'd be a good meme. I'm so down. Okay, this is a pretty interesting forum post. Went up an hour ago, and I think stuff like this is really important. Do the PokeMMO devs always give us transparency? No, you know, maybe almost never, but sometimes they do. If you ask politely, if you ask the right way, if you ask nicely, which I think this person, from the little bit, I haven't read it in full, but from the little bit that I read, I feel like this is a very fair, very kind request to do with asking for more information with upcoming events. And if there's one thing I can request from the devs, I say it once, I'll say it again: communication. Communication from the PokeMMO devs is one of the most helpful things we could get for PokeMMO, specifically around event stuff. So Balky Bell has to say, you know, first things first, English is not my main language. I'm sure you'll do great, dude. Don't worry about it. You're perfect. My aim with this suggestion is for people around all the globe to have the same chances to farm a bit, especially during the first crucial hours of the event. So they're basically asking for an update on transparency about when the event will drop. My personal experience, I live in Spain and we have the second earliest hour in the whole Europe, being the earliest one in the UK. I've been playing since 2023 and I don't know how stuff was in the past, but whenever a new update comes live, servers usually shut down at 2 a.m. and then go back up at 6 a.m. So 4 hours is about the usual downtime. So he's right for that. The earliest one I remember was this past Halloween where servers were up at 4 a.m. True, but all the rest were later hours. So it went down earlier for Halloween. If you played, so like the downtime was pretty long for Halloween, if I recall correctly. The downtime for Christmas was like only 2 hours, but for Halloween it was a kind of a long downtime, but the servers went down early. I remember because I planned a stream and then I had to like go live before the planned stream because the servers went down way ahead of schedule. If you played this game for a bit, you know the first 1 to 2 hours of an event are when the items are most expensive, and when you I just talked about this earlier this stream. This guy knows his stuff. One very good example of this was the shadow tape or the cookies to challenge Pumpkin. I don't want you to make each event at different hours so they are fairer for each continent, but you could post the patch notes summary or at least an update announcement earlier at the start of the day or the day before, not 1 hour before servers go down. Again, at 2 a.m. so people don't go to sleep earlier, even if it means waiting 1 or 2 more days for the update. I'm sure everyone would prefer an announcement than just some earthquakes randomly one day. There is an argument to excitement value from the earthquakes. But I mean, I'm obviously in the camp of I would love for the devs to give people I would love for them to schedule an event, you know. And in my opinion, even if they schedule that event and they miss it, I think that's fine. The problem is I think they tried scheduling stuff a little bit in the past and they would miss the deadline sometimes and people would get pissed, like really mad. And I think they would kind of like, it's not worth it. It's not worth getting hatred and hate mail and threats to do this, so they just stopped scheduling stuff. But I feel like at this point the player base kind of develops this expectation anyway, probably partially through to my fault, so I apologize for that, but I also want to build up hype for the game. It's a tough balance. It's tough, but I think scheduling the events will allow people to prepare for them better. Well, you know, take off work if they want to do that, take off certain things, you know, not sleep properly. I think it would allow for less frustrations, allow for less burnout. I think it would help burnout a ton as well. I think players are the most burnt when they have to, you know, come home from work, maybe keep an eye on when the event will drop. Oh, it doesn't drop tonight. Now they have to like stress about it the next day. It's like if you have a meeting, imagine for those who, you know, work from home, ever like had a meeting scheduled for like noon, and then like up until that meeting you're just like stressing about it, but then like someone said, okay, we push the meeting back to like 1 p.m. So you're like, okay, well, I want to get the meeting over with, let me just wait until 1 p.m. and then you push it back to 2 p.m. and then 3 p.m. and like your whole day is just like edging along until when this meeting is, and it's like so stressful and anxiety-inducing and annoying. I feel like the events can kind of be like that sometimes. I can't be back to his post. I can't be the only one that is annoyed of these events being very late. I know you probably have less EU players compared to America or Asia, but it always feels like we are much when it comes to event stuff. I think it's just I don't know if I would say that. I think it's just everyone gets, obviously time zones are time zones. They're not trying to marginate anybody. I think it's just like they drop the events usually in UTC time zone, in universal time, so like at midnight UTC. So if you're in that rough time zone for that, it's just rough. It's just unlucky. What are you gonna do? But I think once again, a way to help that a little bit would be a tight schedule, would be a planned time. Hey, we're gonna hope to drop the event here, and treat it like a I don't mean that there's thousands of people, tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of PokeMMO players. I think it's the time where the devs probably should buckle down and be like, okay, This is a job. This, even if they don't feel like it is, this is like this is a big deal. It's a big thing, and they don't have to. To be fair, this is just what I want for them, but they don't have to do this. It's their game. They can do whatever they want to do. But I think it would be nice if they were to buckle down and be like, you know what, we're gonna take this a little more seriously. This is when the event is scheduled. We're gonna hit this deadline. You know, obviously things happen. This is why there's a reason why even with AAA games, you know, game deadlines get like moved up and stuff, because if you find a bug, especially with an MMO, you cannot just release something early. If you can't do it. If you find a bug you didn't plan for, you cannot just release an update. It does not work like that. It'll break. You could break the game. It could have a game breaking bug that fucks the economy with things like RuneScape, where they have to like roll back the clock or roll back the servers because they made it so that everybody drops like a max cash stack, and that could ruin the economy. Or like T-bow spawning. Like you cannot implement a game breaking bug in a MMO. It can hurt the game for decades to come. This has happened with RuneScape and other MMOs, right? It could really hurt the economy for, one simple mistake could be 10 years of a ruined economy, or a hurt economy rather. So I understand that importance, but I think it would be nice to see better scheduled updates. Just get it done ahead of time. Maybe try to get it done, aim for ahead of schedule. You know, if you're going to drop an event on, January, and they probably do this to some extent, but I think it'd be nice to see it more. And maybe this goes into spacing out the events. Maybe don't have all the events October, December, January, where it's all pushed together. It'd probably give the devs more time to work on things if it was more spaced out, right? So that's just my thoughts. This is a great forum post. I feel this is pretty respectful, a pretty nice thing a nice way to present it and talk about it, and hopefully push the developer communication in a right direction. Yeah, someone asked a second ago, are the torch and pitchforks actually seasonal? This is a great question. So yes and no. These are the weirdest seasonal items in the game. They are seasonal in the sense that the developers bring them back whenever they want to allow the PokeMMO players to riot. That is genuinely why, right? So they basically just add them in the gift shop whenever they feel like they fucked up enough to allow us to riot, and they kind of encourage riots in game in a peaceful way. I think it's a fun way to blow off steam and build up some hype and gather as a community. I think it's community building. This happened when they missed the release. They set a release date for Johto and they missed it, and they released the torch and pitchforks back into the gift shop for that, which is, kind of a good meme. This is a great question, Tom. Would selling account names be allowed? This is actually a rule that got changed, I think, over the past few years. Like, over the past, very, very few years. So, previously, I actually made a video because it was, like, being discussed about buying and selling usernames was actually weirdly allowed, and it's so difficult. They recently banned it. Yes, correct, Zenarchy. They recently banned the selling of usernames in game, like within the past year or two. It's pretty new information for something so massive like that, like a pretty core rule. It used to be okay. It used to be allowed, and the devs, it was a weird gray area. There was like DMs of the devs being like, yeah, it's kind of like frowned upon, but it's not against the rules, but like don't trade like more than 2 or 3 usernames, which is a very weird rule, that was a weird, how do you enforce that? It's a weird thing. So eventually, when I made a video covering that, like for better or for worse, and I apologize, this was my fault, but basically they were like, yeah, like, to make it, the Pokemon's at the size that it's at, I feel like we shouldn't have these like weird gray area rules that could be abused. They basically had to put their foot down and be like, okay, we're just gonna ban it, because like it's just too much to deal with. Disputes, people sniping names, scamming that could be involved with OT selling or username selling is just too much. There was an old Auk could talk on this more, or players who are I didn't play during this time, but there was a time period where someone was actually buying. The strat was they would go find a player who caught a rare OT shiny, like very luckily, like a new player, and then they would like buy, not only they would buy the shiny from them, but then they would also buy their username. So they would like pay for them to switch their name, so they were like faking OT rare shinies in this like extremely convoluted way, and they had to like get rid of that. So that was a weird, there's been a lot of weird stuff like that. So that was, yeah. This is a great question. Can farming Pokemon for profit make a comeback? Absolutely, dude. There needs to be an economy swing. And this could come from a few factors. Obviously, I've been a big advocate for nerfing alphas. I think I personally currently believe, to my opinion, so if it is politely, I personally believe that alphas are bringing in too many good IV Pokemon, and it's bringing down the cost of them. It's too much supply. There's too little demand. And the ways you can fix this are by nerfing alphas, number one, releasing permanent permanent raids, which will increase the demand dramatically for good IV Pokemon. And number 2, just encouraging players to breed for profit. Breeding for profit is fucking insane right now, and like nobody's, I don't know if nobody's doing it, but like not nearly enough players are doing it. Not nearly enough players. The problem is it's hard for, it's a complicated system. It takes a lot of game knowledge. There's a lot of like little micro things. It takes time and effort. You can't really like, you can't breed for profit as a new player inherently, because if you understand breeding for profit, you're probably not a new player. You probably played the game for enough hours to not be a new player. It is probably better than ever right now for, I think that this game is in a, if you're an intermediate player, if you're like have all 5 regions done and want to make profit, it's never been a better state for you. It is like, the game is in the best state ever for intermediate players, because you can build up all your PvP mons, get your Brelooms, get your synchronized Pokemon, all of your utility Pokemon, all your raid Pokemon are cheaper than they've ever been. And then on top of it, breeding for profit's insane, and like flipping is insane, and these things, but catching the like bottom, the beginner methods are really bad right now. And I'm a really like positive advocate. I like to think for PokeMMO, and I love this game. It's still not a bad time to start, but I'll be honest, it is harder to make Pokeyen as a new player right now in PokeMMO than I've seen for like 3 years, and that's my honest opinion. Just why I think alphas need to be nerfed, which a lot of new players take as me attacking new players, but hopefully most people can see it actually would help the economy. It would give your catches more value. You used to be able to catch Padoves on Route 1 in Unova and make 200k Pokemon per hour because the Flying Egg group had value. I'd rather new players have consistent money-making methods that could make them 200k per hour versus just logging in to catch alphas and making 20k. Like, that feels way less fun and way less engaging as a game to me. Catching for profit was so fun and so interesting, and so you could catch anything for profit. It was amazing, dude. So we need to see more good IV Pokemon being sunk out of the game. I would love to see it make a comeback, but we need to see a lot of market fixes for sure. The market is still overall in a good spot, in my opinion. It's just not good for new players, which is something we haven't seen. To be fair, the market was so good for new players for like the last 4 years, so like it's okay to have a little bit of a change. It's okay to have a little bit of a change. But take advantage of a market when it's in the, you know, sometimes it's better to buy, sometimes it's better to sell, sometimes it's better for intermediate players, sometimes it's better for new players. At least it's not only good for like, I would tell you guys if like it was like, oh, this market like sucks, it's only good for veterans, it's only good for endgame players. I don't feel like that right now. That would suck. That would be I would speak out against it. That would be a problem. I feel like it is tougher for new players right now, but it's really good for like intermediate players is what I would say. Another good question I can answer pretty quickly. Someone said, do you think the game is still growing? It seems to me, based on all my numbers and all the numbers that I can see, it does seem like the game is still growing, but not as fast as in like 2023 or 2024. Well, 2025 just began. 2024, the game did not grow as fast as 2023, understandably so. Like, in 2023, we saw Johto. You're never, like, region releases are just their own beast. It attracts so many new players, and brings back so many players. It's unbelievable. But it's a short-term fix. You have to make interesting and good content continuously to keep those players around. So you can't really beat a year with a region drop. Those are almost always the biggest, the biggest things. 2023 we saw, or 2024? 2024 we did see like, 2023 we saw like first legendaries being added, first Johto region. 2024 we saw more legendaries. We saw raid beta tests, but a lot of people wanted permanent raids. There was a lot within it. Yeah, I think it's hard to beat those numbers. It's hard to beat those. So we'll see what 2025 has. But 2024 was definitely, it was kind of a chill year. I've talked about this before. I did a video covering everything that happened in PokeMMO in 2024, and it was way more than I thought. I recommend checking out that video to see, like, I have a full playlist now of what happened in PokeMMO in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, I believe. And I want to go backwards and forward and do like what happened, like, so you can catch up on, if you're a new player or returning player, you can catch up on what was added, which I think is a cool tool. Okay, we're about to start the riot. I haven't said it all stream, so I gotta say it. If you're enjoying the stream, like the video. It helps out tremendously. Dislike if you're not. That's okay. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. You can ring the bell notification to get up to date on all the Lunar New Year event stuff coming out. Follow me on Twitch for streams. And if you want to go above and beyond, this month, I still have my Factor sponsorship for like 3 or 4 more days. If you want to go above and beyond, if we hit 10 Factor subs, I'm going to spend, I'll still do it even though we already did the streamathon, but I have a $100 budget. I will spend $100, buy something for stream, whether that is pyrotechnics, a fog machine, a costume, crazy lights, like whatever you guys want. I will spend money on the stream if we get one more factor sub. We're so close in the next few days or so. But perfect timing after a sponsor reads ZZZ. Let's go ahead, but it's good. It's a good sponsor. It's good food. Okay, let's get our torches. Do I have a pitchfork? I do not. Let's get at least our torches out. This is not rioting music. This is rioting music. Let's get our torches out. Get your copy pastas ready. We want the Lunar New Year event! Exclamation mark. We need to, we'll work on it. We'll think of a better rhyme. We'll work on it. Okay, but this is the start. It's 8 p.m. Where's the event? You didn't promise it or anything like that, but we still want it. Where is the event? True. Here, in the middle of our riot, let's go ahead and collect this Pokeyen. Boom. 1.1 mil. I sold so many Pokemon. Some of this is breeding for profit. But then I listed, guys, I fought 270k from that box. Wow. I finally listed, look at all these 5k mons. I cleaned out my boxes so much in preparation for this event. I stopped being somewhat lazy. I finally did it, fellas. I cleaned out some of my sell boxes. I went from like 6 sell boxes to like 3.5, okay? I did a lot off camera. And there we go, boys. Boom. Huge Pokeyen stack added. Now back to the riot. The channel got too full. We had too many people rioting. I got kicked from the channel. Okay, we are so back. Alrighty, fellas. Welcome to the Pallet Town Channel 1 March. We will be walking, not running, not biking. Stay behind me. Pop repels. Okay? And we will coordinate to show the developers that we are serious. To show the devs that we mean business. And if we can coordinate properly, it will impress them so much that they might drop the event. True and real, not copium. Okay? Get ready, okay? 3, 2, 1. I'm going to start slowly walking until stream delay catches up. And we're all going to walk and spam. No promise was made. We still want to raid. No, this is really good. No promise was made. We still want to raid. This is pretty good. No promise was made. We still want to raid. Music. To fix the music. No promise. Oh, get them all the Viridian players. Stop for a sec. Stop for a sec. Stop. Okay, wait. There you go. Let's just go. Let's just go. No promise was made. We still want to raid. We have to make sure we say it a ton when we're passing through the cities. We're gonna have to go into the forest together. You guys are doing a great job. You guys are actually doing a great job. All these new players here with their Squirtles, let them know. No promise was made. We still want to raid. We're gonna have to. We might get moved channels. Follow along. We got switched to channel 3. Go back to channel 1. If you got switched, oh my god, no. Try to go back to channel 1. I'm gonna keep trying to switch back. Or we could, or do we all just switch to channel 3? Do we all just go channel 3? Why are you raiding though? Because the Lunar New Year event brings raids. Okay, I'm just gonna commit to channel 3. No promise was made. We still want to raid. Channel 3 Viridian Forest. No promise was made. We still want to raid. Let's see how long we can do this for. Let's riot. That's what we're doing. We are doing a riot march. A peaceful protest in PokeMMO. But look how many people are here. It's working so well. No promise was made. Oh, my repel. Leave me behind. Keep going. Oh, fuck. No promise was made. We still want to raid. The devs may not set an official deadline. Okay? Look at all the people, dude. This is pretty good to like coordinate the walking. But we still want to raid, okay? We still want to play. There may not be an official deadline. But we as brain dead players like myself, like me, there's still an expectation that becomes set. And we want to play the Lunar New Year event. We want to welcome in the players. Shout to them. No promise was made. We still want to raid. This is pretty good, dude. Sir Jonks is here. No promise was made. We still want to raid. There's new players here. Let them know what we're about. Let them know what we're fighting for. No promise was made. We still want to raid. There's players over here. No promise was made. We still want to raid. We lost many of our brethren to the devs this day. We got some good shinies. There's some players over here. Let them know. Let them know what's up. Pop repels. I don't know if we go to Mount Moon, boys. I think we do we? I think we fly. I'm gonna be honest. I think we fly. I don't think we actually go to Mount Moon. I think we fly to Cerulean. Why are all of you mad? No reason. That's not really. We are very angry, actually. We're very upset. Grr. We're very mad because the devs didn't give us a deadline for the Lunar New Year event, and we still expected it. So clearly, we have every right to be angry. We're just politely, respectfully expressing the fact that we want the Lunar New Year event to drop in PokeMMO. No promise was made, but we still want to raid. Where do we, I think we go this way. I think we go south. I don't know if we're supposed to go this way. We're gonna go south. We still want to raid. Give us the Lunar New Year event. Do not loot the Pokemarts. We will not, okay? Don't worry. This is a peaceful protest. This is a peaceful protest. Burn the bridge. There will be no bridge burning. Only bridge building between the players and the devs. At this point, I'm kind of just looping. We're going to loop back to Lavender. We're having to go a weird path. No promise was made. We still want to raid. We're going a weird path, but that's okay. Look at all these people, dude. Look at this. Everybody's walking in unison. It's beautiful. We want the Lunar New Year event. Rob Silphco. No, don't rob Silphco. There will be no robbing of local business. We are simply peaceful rioters asking for the Lunar New Year event. Okay, let's loop down to the fishing place. Wait, tell the new players all in Lavender we want the Lunar New Year event. Honestly, we want the Lunar New Year event as a more clear message. I kind of like that. Let's head down. We're going to loop around. I'll slow down a little bit. So we're going to loop down to Fuchsia. We're going to go left to... Or sorry, not to Fuchsia, not to Fuchsia. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm running. I'm breaking the rule. We're going to loop down to Lavender. Wait, no. I have it, chat. I have it. We loop down to Fuchsia, loop around to Celadon, and then we end at Vermilion. We skip Cinnabar Island. So go Fuchsia. We go Fuchsia, and then we loop around to Celadon. We do the whole map. Yeah. Good work, guys. Good work. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm cheating to take the lead. We want the Lunar New Year event. We go all the way to Fuchsia. Yeah, we're gonna bike up the... Yeah. We loop around. We won't swipe. Give us an update tonight. True. Hey, the real test of the riot. How many rioters actually know the way around these fences? Okay, Icy's nailing it. Did I fuck up? Okay, wait. 9,000 hours, by the way. Keck W. Ignore that. Holy shit. We still want the event, even though I have terrible geography skills. We still want the event. We won't swipe. Give us an update tonight. No promise was made. We still want to raid. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Now give us a Lunar New Year event, bub. Thank you for the Prime. Good work, soldiers. Good work. Look at the line of people. We skipped. We skipped Safari's. Look, okay. Hopium receptors destroyed. No. Hopium receptors rebuilt. Okay. Reestablished. We have to bike up. We do have to bike up bike road. So it's going to force us on our bikes. We bike slowly-ish. Okay. I'm going to like skirt along. But here, wait for everybody to come through with their bikes. Regather a little bit. And bike slowly. I'm gonna like dash like this. Don't just speed through. Now we dash together. This is pretty good. We're doing pretty good. People will catch up. I'm not doing a consistent pace for you guys at all. That seems like a player. We're gonna do the we want it. Once we're back at the top, we can, oh, tell these players, tell these new players. Or not, maybe not new, but like, tell these players, we want to do a new event. Okay, regroup at Celadon. We're gonna loop around. Okay, off your bike, everybody off bike and walk. Off, okay, look at all the fucking people. Tell all the gamblers in Celadon City, we want the Lunar New Year event. Don't rob the casino. If you are violent, it will go against our values as peaceful protesters. The message will not be properly received. We loop around over here. We go to Vermilion, okay? We have to go back to... What's it called? Look at all the people. It's so good. Nice job, guys, on the stack. Nice job stacking. We go south in Saffron. Beautiful work, gamers. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, fuck. Okay. There's people at the PC there. They're new players. Or just players. Hit them with our message. Look at this. So we're going to end in Vermilion and just spam it in Vermilion. Politely, like, tastefully spam. Don't actually, like, spam. As you will get muted by the devs or CMs. No, we got switched. Go to channel 1. Go to channel 1. Go to channel 1. We end here in Vermilion. We end in Vermilion. Go channel 1. There's a mod here. Go channel 1. Go channel 1. Go channel 1. Go channel 1. Okay, there's people here. They're seeing us. It's Mega Bladers. The Spanish-speaking amazing S-tier content creator for PokeMMO. No promise was made. We still want the event today. Which region next? I think we regroup in Kanto for a while, boys. Let our message be heard. We group up in Vermilion. We can switch around to different channels. To see, but this might be the end of our adventure for now. Kick the mod in the shin. Don't get violent. Do not kick Nathan in the shin. Do not make it a violent protest. He's biking around. He sees us. He acknowledges us. Also, there's a big difference between like a moderator and a CM and like a dev. So like these guys do not have like, you know, they're mostly just players, but that help out a little bit. But let your voice be heard respectfully, politely. Have your pitchforks out, your torches. No promise was made, but we still want the event today. We're going to sit here. We're going to camp here for a while, okay? And let our message be heard. I want to say thank you to you guys. Awesome fucking job. That was amazing. Like, seriously, good coordination, cooperation. Everyone who's a little bit involved, whether in chat or in game. Dude, nice work, guys. Seriously, nice job. It'll be cool to look back on this in years' time. Thank you for helping make this a fun night. Even if we don't end up getting the event, but I hope we do. But nice work, fellas. Nice work. Okay, due to the genius comment from Ferrari, we should all spam fireworks, okay? We need to head to a region where we can actually do that. You cannot spam fireworks in Kanto. Let's go Unova. I say we go, what's the city called? Top left. Icarus. I like Icarus or Oplucid and then go to the bridge. I think Castelia City, you can't see enough of what's going. Actually, maybe the zoomed out is better. We could just do it on the bridge here. What do you guys think? Honestly, for riots, riding like in Castelia, like like at the pier, the zoomed out isn't great for a lot of things. It might actually be good for riots. So you know what? We let the fireworks fly and let our voice be heard. No promise was made, but we still want to raid. Okay, we simply try to crash the servers with the fireworks now, boys. Holy shit. I think this might be the most amount of fireworks I've seen in game at once. This is actually nuts. My ears, I'm sorry, but it's worth it to get our message across. You blue screen smooch? Did I actually? No way. Bro, I'm at 22 FPS. I'm giving away fireworks. We're trying to crash. My game's kind of crashing. If the stream goes down, I'm at 15 FPS. That's the lowest I've seen. We're trying to tank it as much as possible. Spam fireworks. Spam fireworks, bro. 14 FPS. That's the lowest I've seen. That's the lowest I've seen. 13 FPS. Okay, I need to start popping my own fireworks. I have to start popping my own. I'm at 11 FPS. It's the lowest I've seen. 11 FPS. Apparently we blue screened someone else. 13 FPS. How low can we bring it? I gave away all my fireworks. Press F12 for the vibe. Yo. How low can we get the FPS? What can we do to the game servers? Can we crash them? 15 FPS. Oh my god, it looks insane. No promise was made. We still want 5 FPS. I got to 5. Bro, I saw 5 I'm at 5 FPS. I'm at 5 FPS. I'm at 5 FPS. Okay, I'm at 10. Go until we run out of fireworks. Or go down to like, we'll stop at some point, but keep going for now. I'm not, my game crashed! Yo, we're actually crashing people's games. Imagine, imagine fucking, what's it called? Imagine like going to Unova for the first time to like do your storyline. What's happening? A revolution. We are trying to convince the devs. We're trying to convince the devs to drop the Lunar New Year event. No promise was made, but we still want to raid today. My phone is fighting for its life. My game crashed on mobile. Okay. I think we stop. Someone says the FPS is gaining. I say we stop. Hey, caught. Caught. I say we stop. We crashed multiple players' games. I think we did a lot. My laptop just blew up. Viva La Revolution. I think we did a lot, boys. I think it's fair to call it. We can stop popping fireworks. We can caught emoji. We crashed multiple players. Forums are down. They're up for me. That'd be really crazy. I think we did good work. I think we did good work, fellas. I gave away 2,000 purple fireworks. That was amazing. Nice job, fellas. Nice job. Fireworks broke the forums. If the forums actually crashed, that'd be, they're fine for me, I think. That'd be crazy. We let people play the game. We let people play the game. But also let them know. Max, you're maxing out my RTX 3080. I went down to 5 FPS on an RTX 3050. Yeah, that was pretty good, boys. While streaming, which is important to consider. Dude, nice work, fellas. The day we crashed a few players' games. I'm sorry to the players. It wasn't intended to be malicious. I was just trying to pop as many fireworks as possible to see my FPS drop as much as possible, to see, you know, what we could do, what we were capable of as players. Hopefully it didn't hurt anything on your game. Nice job, guys. Really fucking nice job. Really good coordination today on all the riots. No promise was made. A little social experiment, but we still want to raid. Yo, come to Slateport! Slateport City Channel 1! The The fucking Avengers have assembled. The mods have heard our plea. Oh my goodness. Yo, it actually worked. No promise was made. Wait, Rev said, uh-oh. No promise was made, but we still want to raid. Yo, Channel 1 Slateport gamers. Channel 1 Slateport. Respectfully, do not harass the devs. Do not be... They're not devs. They're just mods. You know, they're just fucking gamers who try to help out. They cannot release the event. Let it be known. It's not on them. No, don't break their ankles. No violence. This is a peaceful protest. This is a peaceful protest. The mods and GMs were kind enough to all gather to hear our plea. PokeMMO, let's do heart emoji. PokeMMO staff. We'll copy paste this for a little bit, but then afterwards we continue the we want the event today rant. Wait, Rumel and Shout Chat actually brings up a really good point. Tournament is over, event soon. Now that doesn't for sure mean the event soon, but there was a UU tournament that was active that just ended. And historically, like, you can't shut down the servers with a tournament up. That, like, actually matters. I think the next hour, if the event doesn't drop in the next hour, it's probably not happening tonight. We'll probably call it there. But that's actually a really, really good call. Like, that could be it. We don't know if in the next hour, we'll see. We'll riot for one more hour. And if it's no good by 10 p.m.ish, we'll probably call it. But this has been a successful community event, fellas. I'm going to be honest, fellas. It's 10:08 p.m. I personally don't think the event is happening tonight. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry to all those I led astray. I hope I didn't. I put it in my title. I want to make it as clear as possible. We don't know if the event is happening tonight. I like to build up hype and have these moments and have these streams. I think even without the event dropping, this is one of my most fun streams within the past few months. This was so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys did as well. Thank you for being so involved. Thank you for the coordination, for the cooperation. And this could not have been the moment it was without you guys. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow my streams on Twitch to be involved with like peaceful, fun riots like this in game. Discord's down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, there's a few days left to get 50% off your first factor order. Thank you guys so much again. Have a great night. Much love to you. And I hope we see the event tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow as well, doing kind of the same thing. But if it doesn't happen tomorrow, we probably chill out and just kind of wait for it to happen when it happens. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace, Reno gamers. Hey, thank you so very much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me. And if your name is listed here, you're the reason I'm able to do this in the first place by going above and beyond and supporting the channel via YouTube memberships and Twitch Primes. Thank you so much. Have a great day.